people's Keishan Prince here. In this video, I'm going to talk about what routes to consider to a pro deal from an academy. I'm going to try and keep this video sweet and to the point. But let me just be honest with you. If you're 15, 16 and you're at a Cat 1 academy or even a Cat 2 potentially, and you're not playing years up or even playing with the under 21 squad or even with the first team, like you saw, like young Ethan is definitely going to get a pro deal offered to him. Okay, there is a high chance that you're going to get released if you're not playing or training with the under 21s or the reserve team. Okay, a big chance. I've told players this. These are one of the signs. Why is that? Because when I spoke to even recently another Cat 1 academy, and they said, we're going to sign these 2-3 in the pro. They're 100% going to get a pro. Very rarely does anybody from that year upward, from 16, 18, will make a drastic change to where they will change their minds from the group that we have. Very rarely. And he said that those are just cones, that we just use them as cones to help train the ones that we're going to offer a pro to. So we will tailor the sessions to better develop those 3 that we're going to move on to the pro status. And that, when I heard that, that was cold in my chest, because a lot of parents, a lot of boys don't know this. So I'm like, listen, but at least break it down to them. But it is what's hard. Why is it hard for a lot of players to take in the fact that they got rejected? Because we don't look at football as a business from academy perspective. In the NBA, in the NFL, when they're in college, university, going up to that level, they understand it's a business from a young age. And I believe some of you got to understand it's a business and don't take it too hard. Okay, yes, they should put things in place, but you got to look at it as a business. And so in saying that, this is why a lot of players like, Yusuf, not so Yusuf, Yunus, Jude, Jamal, and Jonathan when he was at Chelsea, he's come back over here now. Steffi when he was at Arsenal, Angel, and Nons, these guys and there's many others that went overseas. Jaden, and they've come over here and done really well, and there's some of them are still overseas playing in the French league, Dutch league. Because you got to understand that a pro contract doesn't mean just, I'm going to get a pro deal and sit on the bench or play on tournaments, under 21s football. Under 21s football is a waste of time for players who got offered a pro deal. Especially those who are looking to develop, because you're not going to develop that much at under 21s. No way. It's just under 21s football is used for clubs right now just to ensure match fitness is ticking over for players that they're in the first team squad. That's what it is. If you're 16, 15, you're playing on 21s, yes, that's a big jump because you'll be playing a mixture of first team. But if you're 18, 19, you're playing on 21s football, nah. You need to get your passport and look to go overseas. That's one of the options I told players, that if you're Cat 1 and you're 18 and you get offered a pro, but then they're looking to put you on 21s football, well, you need to get in touch with an agent that can get you overseas, because I'm telling you, you will develop a lot better. A lot of development that happens at that age of 18 to 20 is where we lose a lot of talented players in England, because they come over, they play on 21s football, or they go on loan to a League 2 club who is not going to focus solely on your development. They're only going to focus on winning and results. You're going to spend less time playing games because they're only playing people with experience. You understand? There's a lot of cons, and there's a few pros, but a lot of cons. So that's why these guys went overseas, playing in Valencia, playing in PSV, playing in the French league, playing for Monaco, and they're getting some building blocks into their careers so that they can have a long-lasting career as a professional and turn into a world-class player. Because a lot of times England don't develop players that are world-class, we develop professionals. There's the two different. Whereas Spain, Germany, the Dutch, they actually develop world-class players. When I mean world-class players, I mean they have a conveyor belt of players, a high talented IQ and technical foundation that's able to play football in any country. Ajax, I believe I saw a stat that did like 80 or 88 graduates or so, and most of them playing in all the leagues, like in Premier League, Spain, Germany, Italy, you name it. And so I just don't know why England don't humble themselves and follow their route, their same pattern, but we'll digress to this point. So if you're getting released from a Cat 1 academy and you're 18, obviously when at that age, then for me, my first thing I'm doing is looking to go overseas. and getting developed to the next stage, because most UK coaches not going to be able to fill the blocks. We're just not, as coaches over in the UK, we're not there yet in terms of coaches. A lot of coaches say, no, you can't say that. Listen, look at all the best managers in the world right now. Majority of them are not British. They're of a different background, culture. They've been grafted football in a different way. They see the game differently from a lot of UK coaches. When I went to Spain, I was playing. The Spanish coaches from non-league, from semi-pro, all the way to professional, sang the same song sheet. Over here, you got non-league managers talking about, flick-ons and all that stuff, not looking to develop the player technically on the ball. The language from non-league managers to players to managers in the Premier League is different. Totally different language. And so, as a Cat 1 player, you're still growing, still development. I would say go overseas. If you've got an opportunity to go and play lower at a League 1 or League 2 club, then so be it. But for me, you need to go overseas and develop to the next stage of your career. This is very important. And then you're looking at option B. You get offered a pro at a club. You have to be honest with yourself and look at yourself even in the business light and say, okay, are they just offering me because they want to fulfill the homegrown talent quota that they have to ship over to the FA? Or is it really that I'm going to develop, are they actually going to develop me into a world-class player, not just a professional? Or are they actually going to, is there a plan for me to grow and develop? Or is it just for me just to, come here and play a few games and get stuck in under-21s and then get forgotten when I'm like 20, 22 years old? You've got to look at these perspectives as well. You've got to look long-term. I like the way when I'm speaking to some players that play basketball, the way that they actually negotiate and how they see the development of the players. And it's a lot more harder to make the decisions over here by the fact that the under-21s league is not played in a very competitive league. And so whereas in Spain, you can take the chance to get a pro and play in, Barcelona B. Busquets was playing in Barcelona B, Pedro for a long time. You understand? And that's one of the pros and cons of the way that they set up those leagues so they can develop the players. If it was that way, then I would 100% be saying, no, stay, because you'll be playing competitive football, blah, blah, blah. But under-21 football is not competitive. You're not getting the development that you need psychologically. You're not playing in front of fans. Like, okay, they do free tickets, fans will come. But it's not the same when a match day, when it really counts, and you're getting mums and uncles cussing at you. It's a different ball together, you understand? So you're looking at option C is that if you get offered a pro, then there is time for you to play, then great. And their managers say, listen, this is what we're going to do, bam, 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 this is the pro, this is what we're going to be doing. I feel we're going to slot in here. Yes, we're in a market to buy a striker or whatever. Like Eddie Nketiah would have not signed this contract deal with Arsenal if Arteta would have said, you're going to be my backup for Jesus. I'm telling you, he would not have signed that contract because he was looking to go. So you got to look at, am I going to develop, or I'm just going to be here as a squad player? At the age that you are in, you can't be afford to be playing a squad player. You've got to be playing regular football. And then you've got to look at, have they got the facility? Is the coach good enough to develop me as a player? Am I going to develop? That's another thing you've got to look at. So a lot of things that I said is going to be a lot of controversial, a lot of people, but this is the truth of the matter is. So let me know your thoughts, and from there we can take it from there.